some of the themes that came through from the panel were similar to what Lily D'Ambrosio spoke about, the Energy Minister from Victoria, when she addressed us in the opening session too. And what I really took away from it was just the depth of innovation that's going on in the energy sector. So we were talking specifically about disruption and innovation. So much of it being consumer driven, which is a theme we've seen since consumers took us all by surprise putting solar panels on their roof, and absolutely is continuing with their adoption of how they want to interact in their neighbourhood with energy supply, and also how they're prepared to interact with new technology and change their behaviour, and maybe even go so far as to engage with artificial intelligence and have machines that will learn how they want to use their energy and so on. So I found all of that really fascinating. He asked the audience to make a show of hands of people who were actually involved in the energy industry as opposed to consultants and journalists and others, and then those who were women, and there were very few hands remaining in the air.
I think there's about 8 or 9.
Oh really? Did you count them?
Yeah, I did a quick count.
Yeah, well at least 2 of us were up on the stage, so that was good. But you know, diversity is actually what's going to be key, I think, and at the heart of changing what we're trying to do in the energy sector as well. We're obviously trying to move towards diversity of energy supply, and a whole lot of diversity around how people can actually source their energy, and choices for people about how they manage their energy. So I think all of that diversity, both in terms of who is running the joint and as well as, you know, what sort of options are available to people, is going to be really key. Well, we would be very, very disappointed if there was no clean energy target. I mean, business is absolutely united in its voice, saying that we need investment certainty. There are different models that it could be delivered on, but the Finkel recommendation was for a clean energy target, and everyone is prepared to get on board with that. The opposition is prepared to get on board with that, and it would deliver the investment certainty we're looking for. So if that is now at risk, that is a deeply disappointing outcome. I think they will. If they're not resolved, I think they will, because I think people are deeply concerned about what's going on in the energy sector. Well, I'm disappointed in the blame that comes our way, because I think it's unjustified. There is no question that the price of energy from renewables is coming down. New renewables are much, much cheaper than new coal, for example, but of course renewables are still competing against old coal, which is coming to the end of its life. So we need an orderly transition, and we know that people don't want us to keep building coal-fired power stations, and certainly don't want us to try and extend the lives beyond their reasonable limits of the existing coal fleet. So we need to move towards renewables, and it will drive the cost down in the energy market eventually. What's keeping prices high at the moment is a huge amount of volatility, and the volatility is coming from uncertainty.